Good morning. Welcome back to Passionate World Talk Radio Network, a wholly owned subsidiary of Global Media Network LLC. Do you have a fuzzy memory? Do you walk into a room and then berate yourself because what am I doing here? And then return the way you just come in? And then 40 seconds, a minute later, you walk back into the same room. Well, in today's article, compliments of Harvard Health, here are some tips or strategy to help you clear up some of that fog inside of your mind with today's Monday tips. It was written on December 1st by Heidi Godman, who is the executive editor of Harvard Health Letter. And it was reviewed by an advisory board by Anthony L. Komaroff, MD, editor in chief. So everybody has a fuzzy memory at one time at another. And it doesn't matter how old or young or even middle age you are, sometimes you just don't remember for whatever the reason. And it can become embarrassing or even concerning if you keep on repeating that behavior. But if it's a random thing, then there are ways that you can avoid it. So, what are the things that will help you improve your memory, or what they now call boosting your brain and mental awareness? Well, you can go out and buy some of the popular brands one finds in retail stores or drugstores that you can take. And the testimonials on TV swear by it. They're a lot smarter and brighter than they ever were at 4 years old or at 7 months or whatever. But sometimes it could be a more serious problem like Alzheimer's or dementia or even Parkinson's that also affect your brain. So it's been determined that by age 60, you start having some of these occurrences, but it doesn't always mean that it's a serious problem. So listen up, you younger ones, teenagers who walk into your bedroom thinking you'll find what you're looking for and then forget what you're looking for. Cheer up. Now, the experts state that age related memory loss can represent losing yourself. And of course, if you're with a group of friends and you say to them, "Here, let me show you, I'll pull it up on my screen," and then you don't remember where you saw it on your cell phone or on your tablet, and you look up red face and say, "You can never find anything when you're looking for it." And they all agree with you on that. But the end result is you're embarrassed that you can't find it after you did this glowing review of the product or service. And there's no getting around the fact that as you age, for better or for worse, you will have these times of being caught with your pants down around your ankles. However, there are ways, and I'm going to provide some tips of how you can improve your memory so that you won't lose it quite as often and start posting mental posters on all the telephone poles in your brain that your memory is lost. Give a description and then so what are some things that you can do Well, the first thing you can do is do what I do, and that is by writing down where you put things. You know that old adage, well, I put it away in a safe place. Yeah, but if you forget where that safe place is, then you'll never see it again, right? Well, I got tired of that one. So what I did was write down my safe place. You guessed it. I use Alexa. You can use yellow post-its if that's going to help you. Whatever is going to kickstart your memory. In school, when your children go off, especially in elementary school, they got to start learning and remembering the dates, names, states, cities, capitals, the whole shebang. Well, there's a reason why back in the 19th century, when kids went to school in a little red schoolhouse, that the whole class spent an entire afternoon repeating after the teacher everything that they were taught. And what was the psychology about it? If you repeat it enough times, even me will finally remember it. And not only remember it, but have it come back and haunt me. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. And I in my nightgown, and Papa in his cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap. And out on the lawn there rose such a clatter, we sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Or 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth a new nation conceived in liberty and the proposition that all men and women are created equal. See, you can't get away from this stuff. And that's why they have kids in school repeat after me. Another thing that you can do is what my husband, who was a world renowned chemist, suggested to me. When you lose something or you think you've forgotten where you put it, retrace your steps so that you're starting at the end, and then retrace them all through the house. And you're going to say, Lillian, really? Bear with me. Yes, really, because it will help you find where they're not, where you haven't left something. The same thing on your tablet, your phone, or your laptop or main computer central processing unit. Go back and refresh your memory of what you did last, and then go back from there. And you might surprise yourself and find what you're looking for in less amount of time than you did when you previously started. I know it sounds like woke science, but it really works. The other thing you need to do is calm yourself down. Throw out all the adjectives that you use to describe your bewilderment. Take some deep breaths and say to myself, or say to yourself, now, where would a person look for this particular object? And make a game out of it so you don't start blah out. My friends always tell me when I tell them that I'm having problems, misplaced my cell phone, don't have a landline, so I can't call my cell phone, misplaced my keys, a ghost took them, that those are great excuses, but the problem is I just forgot. And in forgetting, it's now buried somewhere. So what you're trying to do is ask yourself, Where is the least expected place where I would find them? And you can laugh all you want, or smirk, or make jokes about it. But you know what, folks? I still remember. And the last tip, everybody knows this. When you're talking to somebody and your brain and tongue are not coordinated, I guarantee you, anywhere from 15 minutes to 4 hours later, you're going to pick up that phone and say, I remember now. Never fails, always happens. And if you follow these tips, you'll be able to start working your memory. And listen, folks, there are plenty of free games on the internet that are called brain games. And you go in and they actually work to start healing and helping your mind get back to where it was. And sometimes, folks, it's never going to get there. It's not like you're 21 all over again. It doesn't work that way. And if you've not been diagnosed with dementia or Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, then this is just an occasional slip. But you can work with your brain to get it back to your normal, whatever that normal is. My grandson told me I can never go back to normal. Yeah, you guessed it, because I wasn't normal in the first place. 12-year-old humor. What can I say? But it's something for you to think about. Now, your call to action is to go over to passionworldtalkradio.com/blog and go to the blog, read the information. I'll provide you with the link to go over to Harvard Health Letter. Very interesting letter. Very, very full of material that you could probably use. So you ought to sign up. No, I don't get any extra pennies for any of this. I'm just my recommendation. And you can always listen to the audio or the video of this recent episode, Fuzzing Memory, because not all of us retain our memories like the proverbial elephant. So don't forget. And if you have tips you want to share with other listeners for PWTRN, especially during the holidays, email us as pwrnetwork or pwrnetworkllc@gmail.com. pwrnetworkllc, limited liability company, at gmail.com. Put Lillian and then the tips. If you want to remain anonymous, fine. If you have an avatar, fine. But do it and get all that heavy baggage tip off your shoulders and share it with the rest of the world. We're heard in 179 countries, and sometimes I even suspect the space station. So, thank you very much for joining me. Have a terrific week, and I'll see you next week.